Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and I want to welcome you to the Romford Elim Wellbeing Week. Now today we are discussing feeling trapped in isolation. So I've got the meaning of the word trapped from the dictionary. Number one is prevented from escaping, which in a nutshell is isolation. We've been told that we need to stay indoors. We can only go out for certain things, whether it's shopping, exercise. We're limited. We can't just be walking around, going to work. We're not doing our normal day that we used to do. So that can feel like you're trapped in a situation. Now, when we were younger, I've got two sisters, we used to have a problem with trapping our fingers in the doors. And I think it's quite common for children to do that. You're not aware of if you've got a finger in the door and you shut it, it doesn't always register until you've hurt yourself, and then you remember not to do that again. Now this is a little bit like the second definition of trapped. So it says held tightly by something so that it cannot be freed. Now for me, that is exactly how I feel when I get a panic attack during isolation. Now I'm not saying that I just get them in isolation, because I've had them before. But I had one 2 weeks ago. We had builders in, and sorry, not builders, we had boiler men in, because we had a problem with our boiler and then our gas went. And you're still trying to keep the distance from them whilst going about your everyday life indoors in this new environment. And I got to the point where I felt really overwhelmed and I felt really trapped. And I got into bed one night, I was just laying there, and all of a sudden I felt such a weight. And that is exactly, I don't know if you've had a panic attack or not, but for me, it is the overwhelming weight. Like you feel like something is on your chest, it's catching your breath, and it starts to take over. Now, when I have panic attacks, sometimes I can be fine and I can pull myself through it within a couple of minutes, and sometimes it consumes me and I can't. Now, in the Bible, it says in Deuteronomy 31 verse 8, "The Lord is the one who will go before you. He will be with you. He will not leave or abandon you. Do not be afraid or discouraged." Now for me, in those times when I am having a panic attack, or when I'm feeling claustrophobic from just being inside, I can feel the walls starting to close in. It's not been ever diagnosed, but I noticed that I was becoming a little bit more OCD, and I'd walk into a room and if some things weren't in the right place, I just couldn't mentally handle it, and it was too much for me. It would cause me to panic. I couldn't get on with any other chore or whatever I was doing until it was fixed. And that took over. It really did take over. Now, on a practical note, this is what I used to help me in those moments, and it's called grounding yourself. So, we've got 5 things that you can touch. Finding 5 things in the room you can touch, whether it be your water bottle, your top, anything, but just saying it to yourself while you're doing it, while you're touching it. You've then got 4 things that you can see. So 4 things in the room that you can see. You've got 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And that's a distraction for your mind. You get to the point where it just distracts your mind, it just slows you down. And I know that a lot of the time when I'm panicking about something, the next day I can look back and think, well, that was irrational, but at that point in time, it was consuming. And that's okay, because you're not alone in that. Other people feel that. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's difficult in isolation. Whether you're in a good environment, and especially if you're in a bad environment, it is difficult. But I just want to tell you that you're not alone, and that there's people that are there to support you and help you. And yeah, it's just about being open and honest, and that's exactly why we're doing these videos.